Episode 1. The First Hunt. In. The flickering gaslight cast long dancing shadows across the dilapidated farmhouse. Inside, a scene of domestic misery played out. 4-year-old Lily whimpered, clutching a ragged doll, her eyes wide with a terror that belied her age. Her older brother, Thomas, 8 years old, shielded her, his small body trembling. Their mother, Sarah, her face bruised and swollen, huddled in a corner, her gaze fixed on the hulking figure of her husband, Jedediah. Jedediah, a man whose face was as rough and weathered as the barn he called his own, loomed over them. His breath reeked of stale whiskey and anger. He raised his fist, his knuckles white as he prepared to strike again. Sarah flinched, but Lily's whimper pierced through her fear. "Shut up, you little brat," Jedediah roared, his voice echoing through the cramped rooms. He swung, connecting with Sarah's cheek. A muffled sob escaped her lips. Thomas moved to protect his sister, but Jedediah's cruel laughter silenced him. He kicked Thomas's leg, sending the boy sprawling to the dirt floor. The night pressed in around them, heavy and suffocating. The only sound beyond Jedediah's hateful words and the children's frightened whimpers was the relentless chirping of crickets outside. Sarah had long since given up hoping for escape. Her strength, both physical and emotional, had been eroded by years of this relentless abuse. Yet, even in her despair, a flicker of hope remained, a whispered legend, passed between the women of her small community, a legend of a protector, a vengeful spirit, known only as the Deer Woman. Outside, the wind picked up, rustling the leaves of the ancient oak tree that stood sentinel over the farm. A low growl, barely audible above the wind, echoed through the night. It was a sound unlike any they'd ever heard before. Jedediah, distracted by his cruel amusement, didn't notice. He raised his hand again, ready to strike Lily. Then a blur of motion. Faster than the eye could follow, a figure appeared, white fabric swirling around her, the scent of wood smoke and damp earth filling the air. She moved with an unnatural speed, a silent predator. Jedediah didn't even have time to scream before she was upon him. 2 points of sharp impact pierced his chest, leaving wounds that resembled the points of a stag's antlers. He collapsed, a silent, lifeless heap. The children, stunned into silence, watched as the figure vanished as swiftly as she had come. The only sign of her passing was a trail of delicate deer tracks, leading from the farmhouse and disappearing into the surrounding woods. The wind stilled, leaving behind an unnatural quiet. The crickets stopped their chirping. In the sudden silence, Sarah wept, tears of both grief and an unexpected relief. Thomas, clutching his injured leg, looked at his sister. He saw in her eyes the dawning of understanding. They had been saved by the Deer Woman. She had saved them. The legend had become reality. To be continued.